Super BS.
Hey everyone, venture into the pop culture cosmos today, where you'll hear our conversations on different topics within the world of movies, TV, video games, comic books, technology, board gaming, and more. You'll also get a taste of some of our other shows within the cosmos as well. So come on and join us each week as we delve into the pop culture cosmos.
Welcome to the pop culture cosmos.
We are Super BS. My name is Brank. This is
Jank.
And
No comment.
no comment. Okay, so we got two people on no comment here.
That be anonymous?
Anonymous, the hacker group, is in our midst.
No.
So in case you're looking for the hacker group, come find us and comment below. So what have you guys been up to this week? Anything cool before we talk about games?
Hey, real quick, I want to ask you guys, did you see Pirates of the Caribbean?
Of course, I saw it like 5 times. You're talking about Curse of the Black Pearl, right?
Curse of the Black Pearl.
Starring
yes.
John Depp.
John.
Been on the ride a lot.
I've been on that ride like 100 times, man. I know all the
100,000
lines.
times. I was
Did
there
you watch?
when he was drunk and doing his pirate thing.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
I did.
Why? Do you hate yourself that much?
See, like, I have this love-hate relationship, like
With yourself?
with myself. But I watch the pirate movies and I'm like, you know what? And
I'm drunk and stoned.
yeah, they're not that great. But this is the thing. Like I forget how much I don't like them. So I'll be like, okay, I'll go back and watch these again. And then it turns out I don't really like them that much. So
They're terrible. Well, the first one's not
the
bad.
first one's good. The second one's
Terrible. Isn't it like 3.5 hours?
Which one is the second one?
They're like rolling on a wheel while they're fighting, and
Well, what
it's
happens
like
in the third one?
they are in China or something like that. That's where it
Because the
starts.
third one is where is the whole Will Turner thing wrapped up in the second one or the third one?
No, they don't wrap that whole story up until this latest one that came.
He's in it?
He's in it, yeah.
But he wasn't in the fourth one, right?
He wasn't in the fourth one.
Okay.
I didn't realize Orlando Bloom was in this one.
So yeah, him
Yeah,
and Keira
everybody's
Knightley,
in it, right?
Him and Keira Knightley, they're not in the whole thing. They're in it for like brief minutes.
But they weren't even in 4 at all, right? Okay.
But this like puts a bow on the whole Turner family.
Because I thought they put the bow on it with the last one where he just kind of becomes the new Davy whatever.
But he was doomed to like sail the seas forever. Like in this one, it's all about them trying to break the curse of.
Okay.
Ah,
Well, I mean, I don't
well,
know.
cool.
When's on Netflix, I guess.
So that was the third one though where that happened, right?
Yeah,
Originally.
yeah.
So what happens in the second one? Like who's the bad guy?
He's the same guy as 3. 2 and 3 were like they filmed them together. So did they come out the same year or a year apart?
No,
Right.
yeah,
So it was
like
Davy Jones or
yeah,
whatever.
it was Davy Jones both times, and they went to go see the voodoo lady at
Octopus
the very
Organ
end.
Boy?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
takes
they
another way.
yeah, and then the third one. I don't remember much about 2 except for the island scenes with like the monkeys and the fight on the giant wheel while it
Yeah.
rolls. And 3 is just a lot of like apocalypse type. The whole world's crashing around.
Yeah.
I remember the trailers were always really cool looking. Like I was always more excited because they just had all the coolest cuts from the movie in there.
Yeah, I remember
And
we
then-
saw the midnight premieres like Dave and Jason.
Oh yeah, we were all laughing at it. Oh,
Yeah.
that movie was so bad.
Did you go to those?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's funny that we never met.
yeah.
At
Well,
those.
you must have been to 300, didn't you?
I went to 300.
Yeah, Eric was at 300.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Well, I mean, and that's a different person than you.
Yeah, I just remember that you would they'd come in with they'd start throwing the beach balls and
Pop,
and then you're
then
yelling
Jesse.
you're yelling Mary Poppins.
I actually don't remember that, but I remember Jesse popping a balloon once when kids were having fun, and I hated him for it because he was being a jerk. And
Yeah.
there was no reason for him to ruin other people's fun when
Did
we
he
had.
get in some dude's face once too?
That was that same scenario. He had popped this thing, and this guy came up and started yelling at him because his kids were having fun. It's like a dad and a bunch of young kids in the back, and our friend decides to ruin everybody's fun. He just wanted to be a jerk for literally no reason.
But
That
anyways,
took a while.
what I was getting at was the last Pirates
Battlefront.
movie. It's bad because they stopped. There was a point in the franchise when they stopped having Johnny Depp be an actual character and then just made him like an aside, like a foil to everybody else.
Oh, okay.
They're like,
So are there leads in every movie besides this one? I mean, is there a lead besides Johnny Depp?
Yeah, there's a lead, but they just use Johnny Depp to like make a joke. You know, they're like,
Okay.
"Oh, we're having a serious one. Let's have Captain Jack Sparrow do something," and then that's it.
I mean, that guy just probably needs money or something. I don't know. He just does all the terrible movies. Any other movie you watch?
No, that's it.
Okay, have you guys been playing any games?
Yeah.
What?
I've been playing a lot of Fire Emblem Echoes.
Curse of the Black Pearl.
Curse of the Black Pearl.
Colon. It's first colon, then second colon.
Which has been really cool.
How do you... Well, last one you played was Awakening?
Yeah, I skipped out on the Disaster of Fates.
The trilogy.
The trilogy where there's 3 games that don't really connect, but you feel compelled to play them all, but you can't buy them all together.
It's
you have to
only
buy them all
100
separate.
hours.
Is this all on
live.
the DS or?
Yeah, these are all 3DS games.
They put out a Fire Emblem trilogy last year where it was like, it's called Fire Emblem Fates, and there was like basically 2 versions of the story. One where you're with this like...
They're sold as separate games too.
Yeah, they're sold as separate games, and one of them's easy and one of them's hard. One of them you're allied with the good guys, and one of them you're the same character but allied with the bad guys.
Yeah.
And then there's a DLC one. But the thing is that they don't really connect. Like there's no like save transfer. There's no like secret ending you get if you beat both games and then the DLC. Like there's no, as far as I know.
There might be that, but anyways, continue though. Regardless of that,
is the DLC a separate game that you have to?
Yeah.
Well, so one of the things that turned me off to it was they had a Fire Emblem Fates special edition that Nintendo made, and like a lot of their products, they made very few of them.
Okay.
That was an $80 box copy that had all 3 games on one cartridge. They only sold it that way one time. The only other way of buying it was the 2 separate $40 games and then $20 DLC. So not only were you paying $100, you then had to have 2 different physical games or download. You could download digitally, and then a third DLC that like supposedly wrapped it all up. So, but like my biggest beef was why, if they could put it all on one cartridge, why didn't they just sell more copies like that? I would have gladly paid $80 to have this whole story in this one place.
How much were they separately?
40 each, and then 20 for the DLC.
So that's why
So it would have been $100.
Yeah.
Well, then charge $100 and sell the thing on one cartridge.
Instead of having to have 3 different.
Yeah, so I just didn't care enough. I bought one of them. I played it for a little bit. The Fire Emblem games can be very slow.
Yeah.
I played probably 3 hours, and I didn't get beyond like the tutorials, and I just was over it. The Fire Emblem games are great. I haven't played one since Awakening. This one sounds great, but I will probably not play one again until Switch. The Switch one coming out next year, and not the Dynasty Warriors one coming out this year. They'll make a real one next year.
Dynasty Warriors Fire Emblem?
Yeah, you know how they do that with like Zelda and
Hyrule Warriors?
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors and all those. It's just Dynasty Warriors, but anyways, what are you reading about the Fates?
Trying to figure out if there's anything for Fates.
Yeah, well, anyways, while he's talking about that, there was something I want to bring up that was news related to this. Was that you guys know Advance Wars?
No.
Okay, Advance Wars is like they're from the makers of Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem never came over to America, so the same company made a game called Advance Wars over here, where it's like a World War II style military strategic game. It's not character based, so it's like you build units and you like take over bases.
Yeah.
It's super fun. It's like one of my favorite games from the Game Boy Advance era, and it came onto the DS. And the creator recently said that he can't make another one because he doesn't know how he'll have the characters interact, which is nothing to do with Advance Wars, but it just reminded me of, man, I hate Nintendo at parts like this. Like this, like Advance Wars is so popular that there is a spin-off indie game coming out called War Groove that is just medieval Advance Wars without, because like Advance Wars is just a unit-based game. Like unlike Fire Emblem where you have characters you get attached to that have classes and you marry the characters and the characters have kids and there's just tons of stuff.
So you build your own army with your seed?
You can. Well, not really. You can't do that. But you know, you'll have like 3 people, like a family. But the Advance Wars was always just like you take over bases. You get like materials from having those bases and you build guys. There's no like this isn't this character. There's no leveling up progression for each character. It's just pure strategy.
Yeah.
So I always liked it because it was like, okay, yeah, you can sacrifice a unit. Don't need to worry. It's just a unit, you know, because you need to get over this part of the hill, you know. Did you figure it out?
It seems pretty really convoluted. I can't really tell.
Okay. But anyways, regardless, there's a lot of other reasons not to play Fates.
Anyway, yeah. But yeah, this is really nice. It's pretty pretty hooked. It's like a really dramatic intro that made me
Like
want
Curse
to.
the Black Pearl.
It does like an intro where it shows an event that happens in the future, and then you obviously start before that happens.
Okay.
And it's pretty intriguing. So I'm definitely like, I was thinking like, oh, I want to know why that happens. And then some pretty good, like the character interactions are great. It does suffer from the like teen boy syndrome in the voice acting department. So
Not
there's
enough
like
teen boys.
there's a prologue. There's a prologue where everyone is like somewhere between like 10 and 13, and then the next chapter is, I don't know, like 7 years later or something like that. Like you
They're
can
10 or
assume.
13.
I'm sure that it's out there. I'm sure that everyone is between 18 and 21 as per usual in a JRPG. But
Everybody dies after 20.
but they all have the same exact voices as they did when they were like 10-year-olds. They talk a little bit different, but I'm pretty sure. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure it sounds like all of the main male characters. Okay, well you start with your friends in a village. So the people that you initially go on your journey with are all like kids you grew up with, and all of the boys or young men from that crew, I'm pretty sure they all have the same voice actor. If they don't, I mean, it's like, hey guys, hey guys, hey guys. No, see, there's not even any difference. It's all just that.
It's all set.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Like that voice.
Yeah,
Everyone has that
everybody-
voice. Everyone has that like anime, like lazy teen voice.
Do you know what I love when you have games like that and you fast forward to like 20 years later and it's the same voice actor but he just is talking like Batman? Yeah, okay.
I don't know any game that does that. I'm pretty sure if these characters were 50, they would probably, I'd still talk like this. What?
Oh, what?
But or they would like randomly turn 50 and then all of a sudden talk like this. Yeah, just like Batman, like you're saying. But I don't really get that. I mean, it's just like I think of like our group of friends, and there's like 10 dudes, and everyone has a completely different speaking voice.
Well, I mean,
There's like
this village, everybody talks the same. They have
but
the
it's
same
just
vocal.
like I don't know. It's just funny. Like sometimes people that are in their early 20s or late teens still have deeper voices. It's not like a
No, everyone has the same voice.
Anyway.
So anyways, the Teen Boy Village.
So anyway, but it's pretty cool. Like the voice acting, even though it is a little grating because it's all so like samey and typical, it's actually not like the delivery's fine, and the dialogue's kind of fun. There's definitely a distinction in all of the characters, so no one has like. There's definitely like there's like the kind of like friend, but also kind of like antisocial dude. There's the main dude. There's like the guy that's like competing with the main dude.
Oh, nice.
And then there's like your friend that's actually like really strong, but he's like super lazy.
Okay.
Or not super lazy, super casual, nonchalant, something like that. He's like, he's like in it for the girls.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so it's filled with those kind of tropey things, but I'm finding the gameplay to be pretty fun. It's interesting playing a Fire Emblem game that doesn't have the rock, paper, scissors mechanic, which is like...
He's never played, so explain real quick.
Yeah, so basically, like, in every battle, once your troops line up and when they actually fight each other, they just play a game of rock, paper, scissors, and then whoever loses gets stabbed in the face.
Really?
No, it's...
I believe you.
It's like a weapon triangle.
Yeah, it's a weapon triangle.
So,
like
this kills this kills that, this kills that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's what? Bows kill swords? No,
it's
kill bows.
swords kills axes, axes kill pikes, pikes kill swords, I believe. Or in pikes, I mean like javelins, like
It's
the
more
knight
of
guys.
a weapon square than it is a triangle.
No, because bows are a totally separate triangle. And bows kill like flying guys. And that's in like the bows and magic are just a weird like kind of anomaly. They kill certain guys differently. The weapon one is just swords, axes, and like spear type thing. And that's spears kill swords, swords kill axes, etc.
Well,
But,
basically, this game does not have that because this is a remake of, I believe, an NES game. So it's before the series developed so much.
How does it look? Is it like pixely?
No,
It looks like a normal Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, the recent ones.
Kind of like like polygon for cutscenes and event scenes and dungeon wandering. Drawn anime for like dialogue cutscenes.
That's the crazy thing. So if you see
right.
the bows, it's like on another axis. Like there's the weapon wheel or weapon triangle.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, the rock paper scissors thing would be cool though.
Yeah. But this was like this. So this is actually the second Fire Emblem game. So they tried weird stuff because it was originally on NES. So they got rid of like the weapon triangle beating thing, and I guess it's stat based.
Yeah, it's just stat and strategy based, so
and that's kind of
cool.
cool.
Kind of nice. It makes it simpler.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it gets annoying when you are playing the triangle based one, where you're like, oh man, I gotta get my axe guy from over here to kill this guy, and it's kind of. I mean, I miss like the days of like Final Fantasy Tactics where you're mainly worried about like, hey, do they have fair strategy?
Do they have battle cutscene dialogue in Awakening? So there's a mechanic that happens in this game that I don't remember in.
Are they like people you can meet up that you know?
So it's like randomly on when it's my turn, I'll select a character, and instead of attacking someone, there'll be like a talk box that pops up with another character, so I can move him to that, and then they have like a cutscene, and they build like an affinity for each other.
Is it like a cutscene like just two heads? Like,
well, it's not like a Tails game. It's like full body, but
okay, no. So it was previously just two heads. Like a head would come up and be like, "Hey," and then your dialogue box, then a head of that person. It would show the picture of the polygonal character, but it wouldn't show like a 3D looking. It wouldn't go down to the field view.
Yeah.
It would stay overhead and then just show like the head of the person.
This is like a anime still shot.
Oh, okay.
Like,
well, I think it might be the same thing.
Okay.
Because I think they've been running the same engine since Awakening, like this, and I think they're just getting their money's worth through the engine. Like, hey, I guess we've already done it, so let's make 3 games.
After a while, though.
But the fans keep on, and like he missed Fates, so it's been 4 years since Awakening, you know. Yeah. And the thing is, there are Fire Emblem fans that are so diehard they will buy every Fire Emblem regardless.
Well, yeah, we also didn't get Fire Emblem for a long time.
Yeah.
So our first taste of Fire Emblem was the Smash Brothers cameos.
Yeah, and then the first real game we got was Game Boy Advance. Yeah. It was I owned it. It's really cool, but back then they had if your character died, it permanent died. Thankfully, in the 3DS games, they allowed you to do casual play.
Which game was that?
Could you save it?
You could save before a battle, but if your character died, you have to reload it and do the whole battle again.
Or you can just let him die. What happens if you run out of characters?
Oh, I mean, I think the game just ends at that point. The original Fire Emblem on Game Boy Advance is just called Fire Emblem, but it's not like the first Fire Emblem game. It's just like the one we got. The Awakening was really cool on 3DS because it allowed you to still choose a difficulty, so you can make normal, hard, whatever, but you can choose it so there's no permadeath. So your characters after the battle, as long as you win, they get to come back.
Blasphemy to some.
Yeah, to the diehards. But for me, I'd rather not have the stress of one single mistake. And there's still RNG, like critical hits and things like that. So you still have that option of like, oh, some guy comes up and my guy has full health. It shouldn't do this, but he did 60 damage and totally wiped the guy in one hit. So like, that's frustrating when your character dies permanently and you lose the characters, and that changes dialogue and ruins a lot of other stuff.
But yeah, so it's pretty fun. The dungeon crawling is a little strange, not in a bad way, but it's just it's an interesting thing. It's fun because you can grind.
Yeah.
And then I like it. I'm enjoying it definitely. I'm intrigued by the plot, which is basically that there's these two like adjoining continents that takes place in some age. I don't know if this is like a continuous universe. I don't really know about Fire Emblem.
Okay.
Never really paid attention to Fire
Emblem.
I
don't know either.
Because the only one I've really, really dug into before was Awakening, and I skipped Fates, obviously, as we talked about. But
and even then, Awakening's story was cool, but it was nothing like, oh man, like I mainly enjoyed the battles.
I think Awakening was just a great game.
Yeah.
It wasn't an amazing game in any category. I think it was just a great game.
Yeah.
I loved it. But
you've been playing other stuff though too, right?
Well, let me just to say finish the plot setup. But this is like in some distant age where gods like roam the earth, and they like set up shop in different places. And there's this like god of like this like pleasure god basically.
Okay.
And then this like god of like order that like set up some creed or decree where like there's a wall between their kingdoms, and then they can't they don't breach and stuff like that, but like slowly over time, like 1,000 years later, it's like one of the the goddess of pleasure is like missing, and the kingdom is like, it goes through this thing where it's like the people in this kingdom like had such toil-free lives that they got lazy and like super corrupt and like perverted. They don't say it quite that way. And then the people in the north got so rigid and power hungry because they're just like, they're so there's like a war that starts brewing, and then like things that happen, and you find that your kingdom has been taken over, and
and then you
definitely
don't fight to protect it.
You're going to join a resistance and that kind of thing. So it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it. I also started playing Tyranny.
Yeah,
I don't know if I will be committing to it for a playthrough currently, because my other PC game I'm still playing is Torment.
And now,
well, I might, because you gotta, when you play a game, you gotta like get into its game systems and all that kind of stuff and like learn it, and then it's like, especially with like a
big PC RPG.
Yeah, so I'm still playing Torment, so I'm probably gonna stick with that. But I really enjoyed the intro. Tyranny is pretty fun. You play in a world that's already been taken over by like a brutal overlord. So it's like you're playing on the team of the bad guys that already conquered the world, and you're basically like, it's pretty funny. I would love there to be like a plot twist where he's like a really benevolent overlord.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and like you fight a resistance and they kill him, and it was like, what's that one Simpsons where they do the David and Goliath bit where Goliath takes over Israel and then David comes back and kills him, but then everyone's mad because he's like, Goliath built us roads and hospitals and schools. Like, he was like actually like a really good king.
That's hilarious.
I would love for that kind of thing. That kind of twist would be hilarious, but
I doubt that will happen.
But yeah, you play a fate binder, and you go through this little bit where you, in the war of conquering this particular land area, it's like a 3-year war, and you go through this little like battle map where you pick major decisions, like do you invade this city?
Oh, okay.
Because there's basically this overlord has 2 factions that fight for him. There's this group called the Scarlet Chorus, who's kind of like a cult, and they fight with subterfuge. They recruit constantly. They're very like chaotic. And then there's the Disfavored, who's like rigid trained soldiers, like very.
Are they disfigured?
No.
But they're disfavored.
And so you can at this point in the game, you kind of start like your interactions develop favor with either one or wrath with either one. Okay. I know there's a resistance somewhere because that's what you're here to squash, I think, but I don't know if you can join it. Like, I don't know if you have ever the option to like be like an actual good guy, or if it's just
always bad guy.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
I'm sure they'll give you choices that are like good. It's Obsidian. I don't think every choice can be like kill this baby or kill this baby. I don't think it's gonna be all killing babies. Anyways, what have you been playing? I want to talk about some news.
I've been playing. I've run out of games to play, so I've been.
Really?
Playing, yeah.
You don't have a backlog? Like
that literally
seriously?
sounds like the greatest day of my life.
Yeah,
I've got PlayStation 1 games in my backlog.
I have a backlog, but I don't have anything to play them on.
You don't have an Xbox One with Xbox 360 games?
I don't have. I got rid of a lot of my 360 games.
You never bought any digital?
No.
You don't have any games on your Xbox One you haven't played?
No, I did. So I downloaded Borderlands, the first one.
Oh, that's terrible. Okay.
I
mean, it's a great game, but I don't. Nowadays,
so I've just been playing. I've been switching between Borderlands, Tomb Raider, and Halo Wars Definitive.
Okay.
Man, I got Super Nintendo games on my back.
Yeah, I know. I wish I was in your position. I
have games I want to play, but I loaned my PlayStation to somebody. So
you loaned your PlayStation 4 to someone?
Yeah.
Why? You just bought it.
Because I was playing Zelda, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna. And they wanted to play. They bought a game they wanted to play. So
what? They bought a game and they didn't buy a PlayStation 4. What does a PlayStation 4 cost nowadays? $150?
It's about $230. It's on sale at Costco or whatever.
Always, every day. It's on sale like every week. What game did they buy? I'm just curious.
They bought Far Cry Primal, so I don't know why they wanted to play that.
Oh, they don't. Do they not have an Xbox either?
They have an Xbox 360.
This person lives in the past.
Okay, yeah, playing on relics. Anyways,
hey, Justin Lenahan.
In the Primal era.
But yeah, no, I'm digging Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider's great. Yeah, are you talking about the remaster of the first one? Or are you talking about Rise of the Tomb Raider? Because Rise of the Tomb Raider was on sale last week, and it's awesome.
I almost bought it. Yeah. I have a feeling it's going to go on sale further, and because
there should be a summer sale. soon too.
Because it was still $35 for the like complete edition.
That is actually pretty low because the complete edition has like I mean I've seen it for lower without the DLC, but the DLC is supposedly kind of decent, and they I mean that was $60. That came out in November last year.
It was confusing because you could buy the season pass in the base game for cheaper than the complete edition, and it was hard to figure out what.
The complete. I'm assuming the complete edition just had extra costumes. What did the base game plus season pass cost?
I forget. I think it came out to like 20 something.
Like that might be the way to go then, because if the season pass is all the DLC, I think just the complete edition. Man, I don't know, but it might just have extra cost. She wears like clothes that affect her stats.
Yeah.
It might just have extra ones of those. It may have something else, but
let me ask you guys this. I've been thinking about this. A lot of people are really kind of wary of season passes because they don't get their money out of them, or they'll release DLC after the season pass has expired. So it's kind of like, what do you
mean? Season 2 pass?
Season 2, yeah. Where do you guys stand on the whole season pass?
Well,
thing?
thanks for letting me talk about the games I've been playing.
Hey, Brian, what games are you been playing?
Real quick, then we'll talk about season passes. We're almost in the news.
We'll
I actually haven't been playing anything. I just wanted to say. No, I played like an hour of Prey, a couple games of Mario Kart, and been playing Rogue Legacy and Fez, which are both awesome, all brand new games. Anyways,
brand new.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat Prey. I love it, but the load times are getting to me. And at this point in the game, all I'm doing is running between zones that load to get to the next place because there's not enough ammo, and I'm dying constantly. But anyways, let's not talk about Prey too much as an old game. Let's talk about some new stuff because we're almost at E3.
Most annoying problem.
I'll pray for you, Brian.
Oh my goodness, you guys suck. Okay, so we're talking about season passes.
Okay.
And we're gonna skip a break today unless you guys just let me know whenever you break or say it. And we're good. I don't know. I don't
take a break.
I don't like.
I'll just go beep 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 beep.
Go beep 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 beep. That's actually how we should do breaks from now on. Season passes suck.
I hate them.
I don't want them anymore.
You know what's amazing is Chrono Trigger. There's no season pass. It was just a complete game.
Yeah, I like the idea of people being able to.
Well, I mean, it sounds like we're never going to get away from this because there was that was the big news this week where every freaking company under the sun was like, "Oh, well, we're really interested in games as a service." Like,
yeah. Well, games as a service, if they're going like the Overwatch route or whatever, where it's you buy the game and then everything's free, and then they add like ways to give them extra money if you really want to, I'm okay with that. Like I never paid a penny.
I'm okay with that.
Extra.
The problem is that I want to play like I want to play a complete I want to play I don't want the Zelda season pass. I don't care for a stupid game like Overwatch where it's like
those are the games that are services. I think.
Yeah, but see, I think because Square has like considered Final Fantasy 15 like a live game or whatever.
Yeah,
which is fine because the base game was like. The base game was solid enough for me that if I never touched DLC, I still feel like I got a game out of it. But like I miss that. I miss complete experiences, which we get from indie games.
Yeah.
And so I think that I don't know. We'll see what happens because I think the more and more games as a service becomes a thing, the more and more the games industry is going to be cheapened. It's going to be min-maxing as MMO and hardcore players. They're going to be min-maxing their profits versus investments. So we're just going to see tons and tons of LoL clones and Overwatch clones, things like that, because all they require is like updates and character skins so that people with Tumblr accounts can like
ship them. I gotta ship all these people. Ship these two together, please.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know. I would prefer that. Like I would love for a company like Square, which would never do this, or someone to come forward and be like, "We're gonna make just game experiences that are complete." Like,
so they still do that. Like the problem is a lot of those games are really crappy. Like I Am Setsuna was not a great game, but it is a complete game. Like one thing I really
but I'm talking about on the AAA spectrum.
I feel like with season passes, they're basically saying, "Hey, we're not giving you a complete game, and not only that, but you're going to pay all this money. You're not going to get your money's out of it, but we're going to give you a bunch of crap that you."
I feel like there's a like season pass for Skyrim was pretty valuable, and it didn't make.
Did they have a season pass? I think you had to buy all that stuff a la carte.
Did you?
Yeah. Yes, I'm almost positive because I bought when Fallout 4 had a season pass. I was excited because I got all of Skyrim stuff. So
I guess Bethesda is
terrible.
Because Bethesda doesn't have like online only games, and they have a full, huge, massive game.
Yeah,
I guess it doesn't feel so criminal with them. Same with Borderlands 2. Like the season pass, that was a season pass, right?
That is season pass, and that was actually a really good season pass.
Right,
like that had tons of stuff. And it was cool, and like
we got like the holiday DLC that came with it.
But the point is that Borderlands 2 was a rad game without a season pass.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's the thing, is that like this whole season pass business, when it's like missing components, or when it's like...
Well, the cool thing is, and I think we've seen the Zelda one taken out of context, from what I understand, a lot of the stuff that is like missing gameplay stuff is just being thrown into the game for free for people. The Zelda doesn't need a season pass, but games like The Witcher, like its 2 DLCs are awesome. Like, I mean, that's a game where I'm like, okay, the base game was amazing. They added 2 really cool side things, like Mass Effect 2. Like, Mass Effect 2 is a game where it's like, the DLC was so cool. It didn't have a season pass. You had to buy them all a la carte. But all the DLC was so cool, like, I was fine with them adding DLC. I felt like the base game was the base game and great, and this DLC was just like extra cool snippets. So as long as they do that and they don't take stuff out.
But see, I think what we're gonna see is we're gonna see AAA, like everything that's owned by EA, which will be everything, EA or Activision. We're gonna see more and more, basically like
EA
like
division.
alpha and beta games, like games. What's it called on Steam?
Game previews or early access.
Early
on
access.
Steam, Game previews on Xbox.
Basically, every major game is going to be an early access game that's constantly like updated, and like that's the thing is, it's like you're never going to get a cohesive story experience if it's developed like that. You're going to get like a cohesive like aesthetic experience, which is fine.
Yeah,
but it's annoying.
I'm like torn about early access because in some ways I think it's a really cool thing because we do live in this weird age where the game's being complete, like a game shipping doesn't mean it's finished, you know, like it's broken.
I'm not saying that early access is a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying what's going to happen is that the money grab companies that like to force games out and then make you pay for DLC instead of like giving a developer like an extra year to just have a complete game. They're like, we'll just rush it out now and then we'll fix it in post and we'll add more content to it and then make them pay for it because they will pay for it. Genius. I think that what they're going to do is they're going to basically adopt their games into an early access model. So like a game like the next Mass Effect is going to come out in early access.
So I'm okay with it if it does exactly what you said. If it comes out as an early access game, what I don't like is when a game comes out complete and like a game like I still played it, I bought it, I'm part of the problem, but a game like Prey comes out, it has game-breaking bugs and glitches, and it's sold at $60 saying it's a finished game because it's not done.
Is the missions and story complete in Prey? It's a finished game. I don't care. I don't really give a shit about bugs. That's not my point here because there's always right now, like the way technology moves, I mean, bugs are an issue that should be play tested. But I'm talking about actual finished content. Like we're going to see the next Mass Effect without an ending because it's in an early access thing, and then you're going to have to buy the ending to the game.
I don't
know if we'll see.
I don't know because when I like the whole early access thing, I don't like to start games and not be able to finish them. That's why I avoided.
But then you could just wait.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to jump into another game.
They're not going to call it early access. They're going to adopt the model.
So they'll give you the full game.
But it's if it was released like in the PlayStation 2 era, it would have been an unfinished early access game. Like you would be playing a demo. But they're not going to tell you that. They're just going to do that, force their companies to develop less and less of their games because they can start selling them earlier, and then they will finish the game based on the amount of money they make.
Got it. Okay.
This is like my doomsday theory.
Yeah, because I was about to say I think what is sad, what I see more likely happening is we're just going to see less single-player games. So the idea of them finishing games isn't even going to be a thing anymore because
everything's going to be
and honestly, like that'll be the day I'll probably stop playing video games.
Because
I probably won't stop. It'll be the day I stop playing new video games.
I'll stop playing new games,
Because there will still be indie devs. There's always going to be someone making those cool games. So I'll probably never stop playing games. But like the days where I am like excited for the AAA releases, because I'm sure Andromeda is doing fine just because their multiplayer was good enough that I'm sure the people like Mass Effect 3 multiplayer bought it because I've heard people still play that. a lot of their patches and updates have been.
It was fun, man.
Yeah, for the multiplayer. I mean.
Yeah.
So fun. I mean, but I would never buy a Mass Effect game if it was just multiplayer. Yeah. Like that's not why I buy those games. So. Yeah.
Even if they had alternate costumes you can get.
I know, right? I'm crazy.
Customizable guns.
I didn't even get it with alt costumes.
And character personalities and backstories that you would never get from playing the game.
Yeah. You get to wear Dragon Age armor?
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, I remember that from Mass Effect 2, Dragon Age.
I definitely rocked the Dragon Age
armor. Yeah, I did too. It was awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I think season passes, honestly, are going to go away. I think people are sick of paying for them. I think people are sick of them. I think you're going to see what you said, games of service. I think there's going to be more... Because we're not the target audience for this, but there's going to be more microtransactions. Because Overwatch is not just making money from its $60 game purchase. It's making money from all the people who buy the loot boxes, which you can just earn in the game, but a lot of people don't want to wait. You know, like there's guys I know and I'm friends with. They're impatient people who are like, yeah, why would I wait? So they just drop $5 every time they play it. I mean that gets to the game ends up being like $200,
adds up quick.
$300 so they could get all the costumes.
Yeah.
So I mean like those people are out there, and I think that's what we're gonna see. Like I think you'll still see season pass for a while, but I think season pass as a whole is dying. I haven't seen as much like games like Bethesda's been staying away from it. The last game they did was Fallout, but like it hasn't been Prey, wasn't in Dishonored, wasn't in.
The thing is, I think the season pass like mentality is dishonest because you have a game like Gears of War or Halo, and you have kids going to pre-order these games at GameStop, and they're like, hey, do you want the season passes because it's going to get you some DLC? And the kids are going to go like, what, story DLC? And they lie to you and they say, well, maybe, we don't know yet, but it'll give you access to all these guns.
I've never had that experience, but I can definitely see
they've done it to me before.
Well,
I'm like, is Gears going to have story DLC?
No, it doesn't.
I don't know why they would bother selling a season pass. I'm sure that doesn't add to their like store points at all because it's like
but you know they get obnoxious about.
So Microsoft does something that I think is worse than I'm a huge Xbox fan, but they do one thing I think is actually worse than season passes. Doesn't affect me very much, but for some people I'd imagine it's a huge deal. Is for most of their first party games, if you buy the second tier or highest tier edition, you get the game 4 days early. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. So I think that's something I could imagine in lieu of season pass. I think season passes are on their way out. I think people are over them.
How is that? I'm confused as to how that's worse.
I just think it's like you are not me. I'm a person who's okay waiting 4 or 5 days. But say you're some like young kid, right? I could totally imagine me when I was a kid because I really want Kingdom Hearts.
Isn't like the highest tier versions of these games though? Didn't you buy them because you physically got some cool stuff?
Well, I'm talking about the digital.
Okay.
But do they not come with like the season pass?
They come with season pass and all that stuff, but I'm just saying if you buy the $90 one, do you get like, so for example, for Gears of War 4, my brother-in-law was one of the people who bought it early, so he could play it early. If you buy the $90 version, you got the game the weekend before. So you download like Thursday or Friday, and the game came out Tuesday the next week. It's not a huge deal. I just think that's what we're going to start seeing, because that way you can sell more, you make more money, and the people who really, really want your game buy it like that. And Gears of War DLC,
I don't know how many people are that. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are. I guess I don't know everyone in the world. I don't know how many people are that. Like I would.
Be patient. There are tons.
Like
that's
I would.
If
I was to buy the $90 edition of a game, it would. Like the decision of whether or not I got the game 4 days early would have absolutely zero factor into that.
Yeah, right? No, and I'm totally there with you. But I remember
I basically paid $150 for Pillars of Eternity 2,
and you got
you get them like I'm gonna get them early.
Yeah,
I got access to betas, but
but you got the actual physical game later.
Yeah, I wanted the physical game. I wanted the cloth map. I wanted the physical soundtrack. I wanted the medallion or whatever the heck they give you. It's like, that's my reasoning for, and so same, if I bought a digital edition, I want the soundtrack, I want the digital art books, I want the digital guidebooks. But
I just think these games, if they're done, just release them. Like the same with the early access stuff. Early access to me, I'm actually okay with it, but to me it's always so stupid because the games that are coming out now have almost the same bugs as the early access game preview games, and the game preview games are like $20-$30. They're cheaper.
So I feel like early access only makes sense with like procedurally developed or like generated games. I don't know. Is Ark procedurally generated, or is it just like a big open world?
It's just a big Minecraft.
It's like when I think of a game,
but
like
I think it's procedurally generated too, because like Minecraft, where like every time you make a world, and then all these people are on this server world together, and then there's another server. I don't think all the worlds are the exact same.
Yeah, like open world roguelikes and things like that. Like I understand early access in that context, but early access where it's like, you know, here's your unsatisfying Mass Effect Andromeda, but we're gonna, you know, like
you and honestly, for things like that, if you're patient, if you're like we are, then the longer you wait for games nowadays, the better they're getting, because they almost all get like a patch within a week. Like, I feel like the people who are getting punished the most are the people who don't have patience.
Yeah, it's almost plain. As much as I really wanted to play Dragon Age Inquisition the day it came out, but the last gen version was so horrid.
Yeah. That you're smart and waited.
No, I bought it because I was like, it was made for, like, it was developed for, like, I don't remember if they developed it for last gen and then like they majorly upscaled it, or if they literally from scratch developed it for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and then like downgraded it for the previous. I don't remember how that worked.
Yeah.
Like if it was this, because you know, like Switch, like the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild is supposedly just as good, if not better, in some places.
Yeah.
And it's like
it has lower frame rate, but it's just as good of a game. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I meant is that there's supposedly some places where it runs better frame rate, but it's like a different frame rate because it's locked, isn't it? Whereas
no, it's actually really. You should check out this Digital Foundry video. Yeah, it's crazy.
I saw the summary of it, and it said it was like the same.
Oh, really? Because it was originally, and then they patched it now on Switch, so now it runs steadier. Anyways, that stuff's not like
the point is that Dragon Age Inquisition looked worse than Dragon Age 2.
Yeah.
Last generation. So I didn't play it, and then playing it a couple years late, it was almost better because I knew that I wasn't going to be waiting around for new DLC.
Yeah.
So you bought the Xbox One version of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he bought it late enough so that you got the whole game for $16, right?
$12.
Jeez. $12, yeah. It's like, so yeah, the more patient you are, obviously, and this has been true for forever. If you bought the last gen console too, you'd always get all the games for cheap.
Right.
But I mean, it's to the point where like, I bought Prey when it came out, and I wouldn't be surprised if within a few weeks I'll see it on sale for $40.
It's already on sale this week for $40 at Target.
I mean digital as well, because I've been trying to go digital. Normally they'll have a digital sale in the summer. But yeah, if you want physical nowadays, like you can find physical for cheaper than ever.
Yeah.
We're living in a weird thing, but I actually want to get some talk about some of the weird rumors and junk going on during E3. Do you guys want to take a break before we do that real quick?
Yeah,
let's do that. Badooch!
Right.
If you're tired of sifting through flea markets for rare and unique games, we can help. Retro City Games in Henderson, Nevada, only 5 minutes from the Las Vegas Strip, has all your favorite gaming staples, classics, and a wide selection of rare games with new stuff always appearing on our shelves. Come in and chat with Nicole or Doug about your love of games and watch as they help you complete your collection or find your childhood favorite. And don't forget, Retro City Games loves trade-ins. So if you have any Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, Xbox, PlayStation, or even PC games, come in and visit Retro City Games today. Welcome to the new metropolis of gaming, Retro City Games.
We are back. Badooch! We're talking about Supergiant, a company known for making games like Bastion, Transistor, and the coming Pyre. And this is actually kind of a broader subject that we've been talking about a lot recently, is why indie developers and most developers are going Sony exclusive when they're making these games on PC. Microsoft is said to have a way easier dev cycle for going from PC to console. Mm-hmm. That's why you'll see random games like, what is it? There was just another game. Tokyo 42. Mm-hmm. That's coming out to Xbox One, or it just came out 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And it will come out to PlayStation 4, but it needs a little bit of development cycle. It's going to take till July. I don't know why the companies that are going with Sony are just releasing exclusively for Sony. I assume Sony's paying them money to keep it on their console, or probably my guess realistically is they're taking less cut. Instead of the 30% that they take when they sell the games digitally, they're probably taking 10%, and then they're probably saying just keep it on our console only. We'll give you a higher cut. There has to be something like that, or maybe less. They'll charge them less to put it on there.
I was actually reading something that Sony's gaming is the only thing that's kind of making
the money. Yeah, they are a company that before the PlayStation 4 was in real trouble of closing up shop, and it's It's disappointing. I'm really disappointed with Supergiant. I own Transistor on iPad and PlayStation 4. I would have bought it on Xbox One when it came out and probably played it to death, but it didn't come out there, and I didn't buy PlayStation 4 right away, and so I'm just less interested.
Yeah,
and,
I hate playing games on my computer.
Yeah,
because it's just like, especially games that are not. Like, I don't mind playing like an RPG like Tyranny or whatever, where it's like there's a lot of menus, it's a lot of like point and click, but I don't want to play like an action RPG isometric, like a game that like is clearly like a console game.
Yeah,
on a PC. Even if I can use a controller, I just like, I don't have the setup where I can like swap it over to my TV screen, like, and I'm not going to invest in that setup.
Oh yeah, sure.
So I was pretty disappointed with Supergiant. I think that I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just that wave of Sony buying everyone out or something that happened, where it's like the whole indie game phenomenon, I think, started with Xbox.
It did. It was Xbox 360 indies.
Yeah,
arcade.
The live arcade.
Yeah,
where it's
like summer of arcade.
Like that whole bit, like a lot of that whole trend wouldn't even have really launched without it. And then
the one negative I heard about that, and this is from the guys from Super Meat Boy, so I take it with a grain of salt, and I don't know exactly how true it is, but I heard that dealing with Microsoft during that time, and this could have been because they were on top, because this is how, from what I understand, almost every console developer is when they're on top. Maybe they had Don Matic or whoever in charge, was not very pleasant. And so I understand that the new Microsoft is probably way easier to deal with, way more pleasant. That's what I could assume is maybe that's the problem. But at this point, I don't know why it's Sony exclusive. Yeah. I don't even know why it's not Switch or something else.
Is Pyre not Switch?
No, it's just unless that was announced this week. They did have a lot of Switch announcements this week. Not a lot were for recent.
Either way, it turned Transistor, which looked like an awesome game, into like a game I'll probably never play because I'm not going to play it on an iPad.
It's not very fun. I've tried.
The only worst thing is any type of iOS gaming.
Yeah, I wish they were cool, man. They've got a really cool like adventure game called Old Man or something like that. Old Man's Journey. It looks really cool. It's only on phone and iPad.
So my
girlfriend's
niece calls Santa Claus.
Oh man.
Old man.
She's like 2 or 3 now.
Old man. Old man. This is something that's going to be.
So it's a game about Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Yeah. Pyre is interesting looking. I kind of want to play it, but
Bastion was such an incredible game to me. That made like one of my favorite video game soundtracks. That didn't come from Uematsu or something like that. It was just so good. It made me realize like that game definitely put in my head like the aesthetic, artistic, cool experiences that are not made.
What type of game is it?
It's like an action semi-RPG, kind of like Super Nintendo throwback, but it's a little more isometric. It's not really a side scroller. A little more angled than Zelda.
Okay.
But it's got this cool. I mean, it's depending on your level of interest in the game. It's either really unique and cool or super gimmicky because.
You should get it, man. It's on like everything, and you can find it for $5 pretty easy.
But basically, your game's narrated as you play by a really great voice actor.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's got this whole, like kind of like the levels sort of like form as you're walking. Yeah. You play kind of in this state of the world where it's like on the brink of total destruction. So it's pretty interesting.
He plays the boy or the wanderer. I can't remember your name.
I forget the names.
Yeah, the boy, the kid.
But it's really really cool. I would recommend playing it. I think it holds up. I think it's like a great, like it's one of those that'll live on as like one of those like great, like when you think back to Super Nintendo and there's like that one game that wasn't all that famous, but it was really amazing. I think that's what Bastion's like because it's pretty famous, but it's not like.
Yeah, it's not like the top of the charts, but it's good. I mean, it's not even Braid level. Like Braid, I think is one of the biggest indie games that was on the Xbox Live Arcade because it was the first one that did really well and kind of showed people you make money. But I definitely say Bastion is in its rankings in terms of like just great indie developed game back when that was not as easy. But
the thing is that if it were like a Perception, if that were released at any other time, like that was a full game. Like it was like a 10-hour game. You could beat it twice with a different ending. So longer. There's like whole challenges.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's really cool. So. I'm really disappointed that I will never play another game from that studio. Apparently,
because they only want to do Sony stuff. It's weird. But to tie this into like E3 coming up, this whole like Sony exclusivity thing, I think, is hopefully ending. But even
that just happened last year, right? Or was it the year before that all these companies started saying, "Hey, we're going to Sony first."
No, that started happening like fairly quickly after the PS4. I think it's ending now. But even more so than that, we're gonna start seeing a ton of indie games, like more so than ever. I see less and less like AAA announcements. We did see Far Cry 5. Yeah,
I'm fine with that. See, this whole games as a service trend, like I'm fine with that because
we're not having to deal with any of those games. But the reason why I would say that is because for the first time ever, like Devolver. Do you guys know what Devolver is? I can't remember exactly what games they do, but they're a big indie company that puts out tons of indie games. They're having an E3 press conference.
Hey, wow.
Yeah, so it is a totally weird, like all those B-tier studios from the Xbox 360 that made all the movie games and stuff, those are all gone. And so now I feel like we're seeing its place. You know, we still have the EA, we still have Activision, we still have Ubisoft, we still have, I think those are the three that do presentations at E3. Square Enix normally does a presentation.
No, not Bethesda.
Bethesda, Bethesda does one too. And then now we have Devolver, which is totally weird. And I think Devolver published Hotline Miami. They didn't make it, but they just, I think it's cool. I think it's
yeah, that is interesting. Because I mean, that's where a lot of that satisfaction is going to come from. Like what? Yeah,
I mean, it's
they're
giving Hotline Miami,
they're giving
Shadowrun,
us what the AAA developers aren't.
Yeah, and they're giving us like the RPGs we want to play now, and the side-scrolling games. They're doing all those cool systems and trying stuff that all these big companies are too afraid to try. Mm-hmm. You know, like because it costs money, and they have to have the biggest, coolest game. For a while, Square Enix was like toying with it because they still have like a collection, it's called, and they release like indie games, but it seems like really like dipping your toes in the water.
PC, right, for the most part.
Yeah, and they come to, I think Moon Hunters is on Xbox and PlayStation now, but it's like, I don't know. It comes out like so late, and then you'll get an email about it and be like, oh, try to support us on Indiegogo or something like that.
Indiegogo.
But I think like Square Enix just publishes them.
There's not really a lot of communication.
Yeah, it's really bad. But
yeah, I don't know if the Sony exclusivity thing. Well, what needs to happen? Because I still have the opinion that Sony has generated tons of goodwill for really no reason.
Yeah.
Because
I was curious what you were going to say with they generate goodwill, because I'm like, wait, why? They've done nothing.
Like PS3 was the turning point for me.
That's where they generate all the bad will by releasing a console for $200 more than their competition.
Right.
So everybody complains about the Xbox One.
Like super expensive.
Yeah, everybody complained, and it's because it had a Blu-ray player. To be fair, there was a lot of reason they probably should have scrapped that for a while because $600 was way out of everyone's price range.
Xbox One was like $400 when it came out. So
Xbox One was $500. That's why everyone complained, and that's why everyone hates Microsoft, is because the online stuff that would have proved revolutionary that everybody's trying to move towards slowly now, and because they were $100 more than competition.
Well, Kinect, yeah.
Yeah, the Kinect.
With Kinect.
Does anyone even use that?
No, I do, but I mean, I do it just for the voice commands quicker, but it doesn't work a lot of times. They should have never put it on there. Yeah. But it was under different leadership. That guy got ousted. So they're now with Phil Spencer.
I think it was a big mistake.
Yeah.
I'm still excited to see what happens with AR if that ever becomes a thing.
Yeah, I'm curious. We've been talking about this separately.
My point I was going to say is Sony generated a lot of goodwill for no reason. And their E3 press conferences are always like, I love seeing all the like, oh man, Sony won E3, that was like mind blowing, and I've never been impressed by a Sony conference because
they don't have games coming out.
Yeah, they show like hints and previews and whispers of things, and then they
montages.
And then they win. So I feel like either because the belief that the fanboys would have you think is that Sony is like on their side, they're like really pro game. They're
for
like
all companies.
Reviewers do that too. Like a lot of reviewers that go like to Judges Week or whatever, they love Sony. Like they will bash Microsoft relentlessly.
Yeah,
on, like,
it's kind of crazy,
and all
man.
the other stuff, and it's already unfair for them.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is that they've done nothing for it.
Yeah.
And they rarely deliver on any of their promises, and if they do, it's forever in the future. Yeah. So maybe if there really are nice people at Sony somewhere, maybe someone is like wise enough to be like, man, we really like are popular, and I don't know why, because we were almost going to close and we're dicks.
Yeah.
But let's have this. Let's do like an amazing year and like really be pro customer and have a great E3 with not hollow promises and like really like earn the attention that we already earn the goodwill that we already have. Actually do something to keep it, or they're going to have another sleeper show where it's like, we're Sony, everyone's gonna love this. Here's another. They're gonna have another E3 presentation on Last Guardian that already came out.
Oh yeah,
guys. That's gonna be their E3. Remember, guys? Last Guardian.
Yeah, Last Guardian. It came out. No one liked it, so he dropped it $40 or whatever within the first month.
We finally got it. So it's going to be one of those things where it's like it's like the laziest Sony conference you've ever had. I would almost love that if it's so lazy.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm actually, and one thing I want to talk about before we close out today is I'm curious what you guys think E3 is going to be like this year.
I'm hoping for a lot of surprises.
Yeah, I want a lot of hey, this is coming out tomorrow or next week or next month, but I don't want to hear
especially with Microsoft, because they've been cool. Phil Spencer's been talking a lot about I know we need games. I know we he knows what they need.
He's aware of the problem.
So it'd be great to see some a ton of surprises and announcements in that vein. Same for Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo needs. I was talking this off when we weren't recording, and I think I haven't bought a game since Mario Kart, and I've been actively looking for a fun game to buy. So I'm picking up Shantae Half Genie Hero this next week because it's the first game in a while that I've been this kind of sounds cool. Yeah. But they have a ton of announced games. Indivisible, you guys saw, that got announced this week. They're talking about Pokken Tournament, which I'm not too interested in, but that got announced. The Monster Hunter game got announced. They have tons of stuff.
But it's not new.
What? Yeah, none of it's new, but they just need stuff. They need things. They only had a Neo Geo game this week.
I don't know why they bothered releasing Street Fighter on the Switch.
Oh, for $40?
That doesn't make any sense. You could download that on any console for $6. It's
but yeah, Microsoft.
I would love to see surprises from Nintendo as well. Give me a reason to buy a Switch, because I would really like to, especially since that. What is it? We just talked about it. The Square Enix game they announced.
Oh yeah, Lost Sphere. That looks really cool.
I was gonna call it Odin Sphere, and then I was gonna call it Odin something Odin, but I know that it's not.
I'm hoping real quick to talk about that. I played I'm Setsuna. It was not good. I am hoping that Lost Sphere learns from all their mistakes in terms of don't rehash the exact story from Final Fantasy X. Make an active time battle system that is actually fun and quick, and don't just play piano music in a white snow. The trailer makes it look better, so I'm hoping for something good, but I'm still concerned because
I would love to see their Project Octopath game too.
That would be cool. That would be awesome.
What is it?
It's a Switch game that showed in the January trailer.
It's like a throwback RPG, but it looks pretty cool. I would love to see more of that kind of stuff. Because those are the kind of things that are going to sell me on a Switch. Because I'm never going to play terrible ports of other games that are on better consoles.
Which I don't even think they're going to get many of those. All the games that have been announced recently for the big consoles, the AAA games haven't been announced at all.
But in this era where it's everything's moving to live games, and
maybe they'll come there.
The indie developers are the ones making the actual good games. Maybe Nintendo has a spot there where they can finally be the system to go to.
What I would love to see from Microsoft, and I'd like to make real quick easy predictions that are possible. I would love to see one exclusive RPG. That's it. Just one really cool exclusive RPG.
New IP?
It could be new. It could be a Fable. It could be anything. I just want to see something that's coming out this year. I want to see them say, it could be an action RPG. It could be anything. I just want to see at least one game coming out this year that has RPG elements that looks cool.
I think, too,
it could be on PC, too. I just want it to be at least exclusive to Microsoft.
Yeah, and what would be good for Microsoft, too, is to stop showing us videos of games we're not going to see for 3 to 5 years.
So that was in 2004. So I was just actually reading about that recently. That was in 2014. That's when Phil Spencer took control. I'm not sure when he took control of the company. There's a very real possibility that all of that was already set up either before he took charge or at the beginning, and that was a fake E3. That was one thing that Microsoft did really wrong. Is that E3? None of those games have come out.
Yeah.
And some of those games have been canceled. And I think that was an E3 where they're like, we have nothing. So let's put together sizzle reels. Ever since then, they've been really good. Last year, Recore came out, all their other stuff. Maybe it's not a great game, but they released.
Recore?
I played a little bit of it. It was okay. It's like a B-tier game. But it was... The thing is, though, they've been releasing stuff. I'd rather them do that than Sony's like, Detroit looks cool, right? No release date. Days Gone which didn't look cool, but looks cool, right? No release date. God of War looks cool, right? No release date.
Horizon came out.
Yeah, that was announced 2 or 3 E3s ago.
Oh, was it?
Like, it's not like that was like last year. It's like, hey, this is coming out next year. Look at this.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, we announced this. I actually am curious when that was announced now. That was announced forever ago. Oh, did you guys see the, real quick off topic, did you guys see Nintendo's way to do voice chat? Like how you're going to have to do it on the Switch?
No.
Oh, man, is it funny. I wish this was video just go. Just look on it online. It's so funny. It is the dumbest thing ever. I love Nintendo. I don't want to get too far off E3, but yeah, so it looks like Horizon Zero Dawn was shown off in 2015 and maybe even earlier because it won awards in 2015. So, but yeah, check out that thing and then we can talk about it, the Switch headset real quick. Did you guys get to see it?
No, let's see.
Here, it's so funny. I'm trying to also find Horizon Zero Dawn's when they... Okay, September 2014 was when Horizon Zero Dawn was first leaked, and then 2015 was when it was first announced. So it's been 2 years, not that that's forever, but Sony has a very bad track record of show game release at any time in the near future. To explain the Nintendo Switch stuff, since we're not a video thing, it's like what's that thing called where you plug in one?
Like a weird, like those old over-the-ear headsets.
Well, not only that, look how it's plugged in. It's like,
okay.
So you plug one thing into your Switch for the sound, you plug one thing into your microphone port, and then you plug that into a headset. So it's like a splitter.
But
what's the phone for?
What's this? Yeah,
the phone is how you talk to people, because you guys heard that Nintendo Switch isn't having... it doesn't have any way to talk to each other outside of through a phone app.
Is there there's an app that sets up chat? That's stupid. That's so
I don't know why. Yeah, this is stuff we knew about when the system was coming out. We just had never seen the picture before, which was I think that's actually dumber than if they would have just had it been just an app on its own.
It would have been better if they just said, hey everyone, why don't you just call on your freaking phone?
Yeah. Nobody cares about Switch being innovative. They want to play good games and they want to be able to play them.
Well, and this isn't innovative. This is just purely stupid.
Need all this bells and whistles that they think.
This isn't bells and whistles, man. This is just dumb. Look at that.
They think it is.
Look at this. You have to have 3 different cables to use this headset.
So not only are you...
and it only attaches 20 inches away from your Switch or something like that.
Not only are you glued to the Switch, but you're using your phone data too to talk to people.
It's so dumb. I had to talk about that. I forgot about it. It was so stupid. Any other cool stuff that you guys are thinking about or stuff you want to see from E3 or anything? I think we're 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away. You already mentioned it, but I'd love to see Fable make a comeback, and I'm curious what the announcement is going to be regarding Scalebound, because they did renew it. I wonder if they're going to talk about it at all.
They just need games. I don't even honestly that's the one thing I would love to see. Is there anything you want to see Fable? Is there any other thing that you want to see? Wait, let's do this. I announced something I want to see from Microsoft. Let me announce something I want to see from Nintendo and Sony.
Okay.
For Nintendo, I want to see Virtual Console, and I want to see it by the end of the summer.
Okay.
And for Sony, I just want to see Ni no Kuni 2 at some point, this year, if possible. What do you want to see?
I want to see from Microsoft, and Remedy, I do want to see an Alan Wake sequel, if that's ever going to happen.
Probably not going to happen, I would
I know it might be too soon to see.
Not only that, they just went third party. Their next game's going to be on PS4. So, good continue, though, with your next Sony.
I know chances are, for Sony, I want to see a... Actually, I don't have any expectations from Sony.
Okay,
so
well, whatever.
Go in without that. But from the Nintendo Switch, I want to see something new that I can play that's not a remake, and perhaps a Final Fantasy.
That would be cool. And what about you? Each of the 3. Even though I know you're not a Sony person, try to think of something cool.
No, I'll try to think of something cool. For Microsoft, I'd love to see a Mistwalker game.
That'd be cool.
That would be my dream. Or from Nintendo, actually, because they've made games with both now at this point.
The one that we never got, right? The 3DS game that never came here?
Well, there's Last Story.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. But they also had a 3DS game that never came here that looked cool.
Yeah, that game did look really cool.
Or called, DS probably.
What was it called? Ash.
Yeah, I don't know why that never released. But okay, so Nintendo
it was a pretty big game.
So you want to see a Mistwalker game, preferably from Microsoft or Nintendo. I don't know, choose another thing for one of those other companies.
But yeah, also from Microsoft, I'd love to see. I'd love to just see a bunch of games.
Yeah.
If they showed 10 new games that look cool, I'm sure one of them will be something that I would enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty picky. Like I don't play really any multiplayer games, and sometimes I do, but I just don't really care for it. So I don't really need like big shooters and stuff. So I'd love to just see like a slew of new games. Maybe new IPs would be cool, or brought back old IPs. I don't really need to see another Halo or Gears of War. Not
anytime soon. Yeah, they'll be announced, but not this year, thankfully.
Yeah. From Nintendo, I would love to see a Mistwalker game, or I want to see. Love to see a virtual console.
It needs to happen.
But I would love to
happen.
I would love to just I would love to see a bunch of RPGs.
Yeah.
These are the only games I'm really, really interested in.
Right.
Yeah. So I would love to see a bunch of like I would love to see the Seiken Densetsu collection localized.
Yeah. I hope that comes out.
I would love to see more info on the Fire Emblem that's coming out for Switch. Love to see more on the Square Project Octopath game.
Yeah.
Square, I would love to see Final Fantasy 16. I don't really give a shit about Kingdom Hearts 3 or the Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Yeah.
I will buy, play, probably love, and beat Kingdom Hearts 3 when it comes out.
But I don't care till it's
but I don't really.
Yeah, this is 2 or 3 years away.
I don't have any desire to see any more info on it. I will probably enjoy, but contentiously wish didn't happen with the Final Fantasy VII remake. Yeah. I'm sure it will be cool, but I think I would rather have Final Fantasy 16 than remake of Final Fantasy VII. Just because Final Fantasy VII is rad. I don't really need to play it in a remade form.
I need to go back to it.
Well, that's the thing. My favorite is Final Fantasy IV, and they have the 3D, the DS remake, and it's on Steam and everything, and it's a really cool version of the game. It's got voice acting and it's all that stuff. But I don't know I don't know when the next time I will play that version of it, because my yearly playthrough of Final Fantasy IV is now on the Vita with the complete collection.
Nice. Yeah.
So, because it's the Super Nintendo version of the game, it's fast.
That's the one that had the after years and all that?
I don't normally play that bit, but it's kind of after years bit is kind of wonky. But the After Years is remade on the you can buy it on Steam as well, I believe. You can, or the App Store even on iOS.
Okay.
They did a 3D remake of After Years.
Yeah.
But then they did just a pixel remake of Final Fantasy IV proper and After Years, and put that on PSP called the Complete Collection. But they put it digitally on the store, and I bought it on my Vita, and I just have it permanently installed, and I just play through it. Because it has fast battles, so you can cruise through the grinding pretty fast and just experience the story. I know where every treasure in every dungeon is, so it's just a yearly pilgrimage for me. So I if the remake of Final Fantasy VII comes out and it ends up being this epic 200-hour experience, I'm sure it'll be rad, and I'm sure I'll play it and beat it. But then in the future, the next time I play Final Fantasy VII will probably be the original, because it takes a third of that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and plus, with this remaster, I feel like they're going to take a lot of stuff out that we really loved the first time, exploring the wild, doing the airship business. And
I can't imagine. I mean, I can see it happening, but maybe not. They did an open world with 15. I bet they'll do something.
I'm sure they'll do something.
But yeah, Final Fantasy 16 is what I really want. They released a some type of graphic development video for something called Arnie's or Annie's Philosophy.
Yeah, that's when they're in the red cloaks, right?
Yeah,
and
I just hope to God that's Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
I want to see that. That looked sick.
It did.
That looked really cool. I would love to see the one guy that directed I think 6 and 9 that Sakaguchi said would be the savior of Final Fantasy. I forget his name.
Who did 15?
Tabata. He did great, and I would love to see him do another game as well. but I would love to see like a more not old-fashioned in game style, just in like art direction.
Yeah.
Game looking like that video demo.
Yeah, it looked good.
Directed by, I cannot remember his name. But he's one of the only
belts.
He's one of the only veteran directors left, I think, at Square, and I think I would love to see that. That's like my dream. And then for Sony, I mean, if Sony wants to like spearhead that and play that at their press conference, I would be stoked.
Yeah.
Otherwise, from Sony, I don't know. Like, I don't like their brand at all. So I would love to see something that makes me want it again. I mean, I don't want to see a Vita 2.
See,
so it's like
I kind of am torn. If they could make the PS4 portable like the Switch is, I would almost want to see that. But then again, then you'd have the problem of it's discs because they're not going to take it into cartridges.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to move the saves. It's going to be the same as the Vita, so why even do it?
Introduce me into a one-stop solution to play all of Sony's backlog.
Yep.
And to play...
And not have to pay $15 a month to rent the games.
To rent the games and play on American internet, which is slow as balls.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, if they introduce me to... Because I don't really care for most of the IPs that Sony puts out. Like, I'm not really interested in Last of Us. I know it looks cool, but I also don't like Walking Dead. So, like, I don't really have, like... That type of story doesn't really interest me at all. I'm sure... It's like... Yeah. I know it's good. Just don't want it. I would play Last Guardian's a game that is something that would be kind of my speed, but
I heard it.
I'm not going to buy a Sony system for it. But like any of the things that cater to like the kind of mass market, Uncharted looks stupid to me.
What about God of War? Are you into that?
I liked God of War 1 and 2. I tried playing 3. I never beat it, so I don't know if I care enough about 4. Funny thing, we were talking about this, and you reminded me of it. Second Densetsu came out today in Japan.
Sick.
I didn't realize that. It doesn't have an English language option, or else I'd be going home to buy it right now off the store.
That'd be great.
But yeah, if there's nothing else, we'll come back next week, see if there's any cool news, and then wrap up any ideas for E3.
Yeah.
Badooch.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
That's to us people that can feel things, it hurts.